Hello, what's happening? Matt, aka Lethal Frag here, and today I'm going to be talking about Deus Ex Human Revolution and me switching into doing more PC gaming than console gaming. So we'll start off with Deus Ex. I'm really happy with this game. It's got amazing graphics, and it's a Square Enix game. And if you're expecting this game to be running around and shooting people, you'll be sadly mistaken. The game is really more about stealth and espionage, though you do have the option to, run around and kill everybody if you want to play the game that way. But it's really focused on, being stealthy. It kind of has a little bit of a Metal Gear Solid feel when you're going throughout the levels trying to go through not being detected. But once again, you have the option not to be detected. And, if you get caught, you can pull out your gun and shoot people. There's a lot of sneaking around, dragging bodies behind barrels, and trying to sneak your way through the levels. Some of it gets pretty hairy, pretty intense. It's been a pretty rewarding experience so far. My only quip about the game is there's a lot of side quests, and some of those side quests don't have very much action in them. You spend a lot of time running around the city from place to place, completing missions for people, or going to find new stuff. In addition to doing all this, you can hack computers, security systems. They have a pretty nice system for that. And I'll finally lead into augmentations. Basically, your whole body gets ruined, and they put you back together using all these cybertronic parts. And you can, add to those parts they added you by adding augmentations, and this goes many different directions. They have combat related ones, they have hacking related ones, they have ones for reading people better. And you really get to customize the way you want to do that. You just, by playing the game, gain experience, and then you gain points to add to your augmentations. So it's really customizable in that sense, depending on how you want to play the game and how you want to go about it. If you want to find everything, or you just want to run through and blast some people. It's really up to you. And the other cool thing about the game is it's really focused on the decisions you make. A little decision you make, right at the start of the game can have huge payoffs later, or you could miss out on something. Just for example, in the first level, not going to give away too many spoilers here, but you have the option to let a terrorist go or not, and he ends up giving you information later in the game if you end up letting him go. And I haven't seen where the consequences of that end up later. It may come back to bite me. You just don't know. But you're constantly faced with these decisions that kind of reminded me of LA Noire a little bit, in the sense when you're talking to people, you have to try to coerce them and say the right things to get them to say what you want or do what you want. So there's no running around finding mass amounts of evidence. There's no true mysteries there. So overall, I'm really enjoying the game. I'm not sure how many hours I'm going to be able to put into it, or if I'll be able to even beat it before Battlefield gets here. But, it's taking up my time, and I'm, enjoying playing it. So that leads me into PC gaming. I ended up buying the Deus Ex for the PC. I made the decision that I want to do more PC gaming than console gaming in coming days and coming months. And I have a few things fueling that decision. I just recently got a brand new computer. It's top of the line. I really have a great gaming system, and it's a real shame not to game on it. And as much as I love console gaming, there's something about PC gaming, especially shooter games, that's just so much more precise. You have a lot more control over, turning and where you want to aim with a mouse than you do with a controller. And granted, if you can play on sensitivity 10, you can do just about whatever you want with the controller. The game mechanics aren't all that much different, but there's something about playing with the keyboard and mouse that I really like. I haven't played a good shooter on the computer for quite a while, but I'm definitely picking up Battlefield for the PC, and we'll see how that goes. And if it goes good, I think I'm going to be switching over to PC for most of my gaming. I'm not going to abandon consoles by any means, because I have tons of friends that play consoles. But it could get interesting when it comes down to the next-gen consoles. How much money do I want to spend on a console that I don't play that often? And the computer I got's going to be good for several years at least. So there's another factor to this is just time, and the time it takes to go sit down in front of the console, play, and then capture it on the computer, whereas if I'm gaming on the PC, it's much more efficient. I spend so much time doing my Twitter and all my other social media stuff. It's really more convenient for me to be sitting down at the computer playing rather than going over the TV or sitting at my desk and playing. Just, it's a more streamlined experience for me. So I'm willing to give it a shot, and I'm also very excited to meet some PC gamers, because it's been a long time since I gamed on the PC. And like I said, I have great friends on console, but it gives me another avenue to find new people. And I know most people play consoles, definitely the least play PC. But I'm sure there's a great group of people out there, and I'm interested also to see how competitive the PC gaming world is compared to consoles. There's always been a debate about PlayStation versus Xbox as competitive players, and Xbox has a much larger player pool and probably has more good players on it. But if you get to the top end of any gaming spectrum, the gameplay is the same and people play the same way. So as I said, with PC and using a mouse and keyboard, you have a lot more precision. You'll see Dutchy playing with mouse and keyboard on Xbox, and he just rocks people. Not that really has to do with the mouse and keyboard. He's a great player, but there's something to be said for the keyboard and mouse. It's definitely a different experience from using a controller. And I find when I play on PC, I don't have to invert my controls as I do on any console game. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just waiting. It's kind of weird that Black Ops is in such a dead time right now. Not saying there's not a lot of people playing it or excited for it, but I think everybody is just lying in wait, waiting for Battlefield and Modern Warfare, or either one of those games. I know some people aren't going to get Modern Warfare, will just get Battlefield. This is going to be my first experience with Battlefield games, really. I play a little bit at friends' house and stuff, but I haven't played too much Battlefield. It looks so nice, and I'm definitely getting on the PC so I can have the best experience with that game that I possibly can, and see if I still got it. I'm not sure if I'll be good on the PC or not to start out. We'll see. I definitely have all the mechanics and what I need to be good. This is the question if I can execute that. In addition, when Modern Warfare 3 comes out, that's the game I'm really going to focus on for a while. I have big plans for content. I want to be producing lots and lots of videos. I already have a whole spreadsheet written out with all the videos I want to do. And in the first couple months, I'm gonna break 100 videos. I'm just gonna tell you guys right now. I'm gonna be pumping out content like no other. And I'm not gonna be throwing out crap content either. I have a specific plan of what I want to do when I produce content for a new game. And I also want to do some video with Diablo 3. In the previous commentary, I was talking about how nerded out I am for that game. And I think a lot of my friends are too. It's been so long. Diablo 2's been out for a decade now. You still get 50,000 people playing a night. I think a lot of people are looking forward to Diablo 3. It's gonna be good stuff all around. Who doesn't love random loot? Really. How can you not love random loot if you enjoy playing games where you get loot? There's no way you don't enjoy it. There's so many possibilities of what you can do. That's going to be my next really serious PC game, I think, other than Modern Warfare 3, which I plan on playing both at the same time. I found when I play those types of games, like a World of Warcraft or anything that's really time extensive like that, I need to have another game to play. Otherwise I burn out pretty quick. And my joy of playing shooters will never be gone. I'll always enjoy playing shooters. First-person shooters are what I've played the most time by far. And I've always had a real passion for them. I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with Modern Warfare 3, if they can take it to the next level and create a great gaming experience. They certainly have competition with Battlefield 3. I mean, everybody's hyped on this game, including myself. And though I think they're going to both be great games in their own right, I think Modern Warfare 3 will sell way more copies just because of the Call of Duty brand name. I'm not going to say it's going to be a better game until I have played both of them. But if you want to produce content, I think Modern Warfare 3 is going to be where it's at. Not that there isn't a huge fan base for Battlefield 3, but you got to take into account the numbers and what's been done already by the Call of Duty series. The Battlefield games are great, but they just don't have that streamlined experience, that fast-paced action that most gamers are looking for. They want to hop in and play a 10-minute game and have it be absolutely action-packed. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the balance will be in those games. A pretty sweet domination game here. I think I have 11 captures, 5 defense. I love games like this where the flags just keep flipping. That's another thing I want to get into in Modern Warfare 3. I want to see if I can put a little team together. Nothing too serious, not to like compete or anything, but to actually try playing a style of domination where you're constantly flipping the spawns. That's what I want to do. I think you could generate massive scores for your entire team, you know, just by flipping the spawns constantly and forcing captures. What if you could get 3 people on your team that had 10 captures apiece? That sounds like a pretty sweet game to me. There's so many good games coming out right now. I don't even know what I'm going to do with myself. I really don't. I don't know how I'm going to find the time to play all these games, but somehow I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to be spending more time doing video than anything. As always, I'm in the theater, you know, looking at stuff and finding new stuff for you guys. It's a lot of fun. I definitely enjoy doing video work, even though at times it can be extremely tedious. It just takes hours and hours to gather all those little clips. I mean, doing commentary is easy. It's the breakdowns and all the other videos that actually take time. You know, they take 4 or 5 hours a piece, but they're definitely worth it. Well, that's about all I got. Frag out.